What's up guys, Matt with BleepinJeep, everything off-road, none of the boring stuff. Project JLO here is in desperate need of some headlights. It's got awesome lights all around except for those. So today I've got the Oculus Bi-LED headlamps we're going to install. I'll show you the difference before and after. I'm just waiting for it to get dark. Then we'll get started. Alright, so when you unpackage the new lights, this is what they're going to come like. Everything is pretty much plug and play. You've got a little adjustment here, Allen wrench, to adjust the aim if you want to. I think these are breathers. It's got a halo around it and the light in the middle. These just plug and play into your factory harness. And this one is going to go to either... You've got this, which can go to the fuse box, and that will allow you to turn on the halos automatically whenever you turn on the vehicle. Otherwise, you take that and you run that to a switch. If you already have a switch panel, you can use that. Run it to your relay box or whatever you want to do there to operate those separately. The instructions, just one sheet, it's pretty simple, has a link to a video if you want to watch that to install it. It's got a couple of wiring options, which I just told you, and how to aim the headlights. Let's put them in. So the first thing we're going to do is open up the hood, and then we're going to remove all the clips that hold in the panel of the front. Okay, with those set aside, what we're going to do is pull this off. It's a little harder with the winch in place, but you're going to pull on the lower right and then the lower left to break that free. Now it's pretty simple. There's three 10mm bolts. We're going to remove those. Then we'll pull the light out and disconnect it from the factory harness. We're just going to push in this clip and pull out. While I have this out, it's pretty interesting to note the size difference between those two lenses. This one is a good 3 or 4 inches taller. Now, if you are wanting to know how to change your bulb on a stock headlight, you have this piece here, and you have this little clip. Just pull this clip out, press there, pull that, and then you twist that, and there is your bulb if you need to replace the factory bulb. That might give you a little extra room for something, I don't know what, but cram more crap in the engine bay. Alright, grab the lamp that says R on it. That's your right side, your passenger side, and we're going to connect it to the factory harness. There we go. Clip that there. Make sure that this isn't going to hit anything where it lands inside there. We also need to connect this for the halos. So this wiring harness has a short side and a long side. The other end goes to the battery. So since that's the case, the short side is going to go to the right side or the passenger side. So we're going to connect that together here and twist that in, which will just give it a good weather-tight seal. All right, I'm going to stash that right above this bracket here, just somewhere where it's not going to get tangled on anything, and then we'll put the light back where it belongs, right here, and reinstall our 3 bolts. All right. Now for the wire that goes across to the other light, I've decided I'm going to come out right here. I'm going to zip tie this behind this black frame cross member here, and then I'm going to go up through this side over here. Now pull this headlight out, do the same on this side and attach the wires. I've put a couple zip ties in to hold the wire in place. Now I'll snip the ends of those ties. Next, I'm going to route the other end of that harness over to the battery. I'll go through here somewhere. There's a ground right here, so I'm going to take off one of these nuts. And then the wire already has a ring terminal on it, so let's go ahead and put that there. And then we'll put the nut back on. All right, one wire left. What are we going to do with this wire? Well, if you'd like to put a switch in there to turn your halos on, what you would do is wire this into your cab to a switch, and the other end of that switch to a positive power source, like your battery or something that's hot. You could also wire this to your relay box if you have one. Some sort of switches on your dash that already have a relay box somewhere, you'd wire this into one of those relays, and then you'd flip that switch. That would turn your halos on and off. If you don't have that, which I don't yet, I want to get a relay box here pretty soon, but I don't have one yet. If you don't have that, they provide this little pigtail. So what we're going to do is we're going to butt connect this. So just get your butt connectors and squeeze that on there. Now we're going to run this into the fuse box. And they suggest that we put this little piggyback on F52, which is right here. And what we're going to do is then put that fuse in this slot. So we still have a fuse in there. And so take this tool right here. Let's see if I can do this without getting my head in there. We're going to pull that fuse. And then we're going to take that fuse and we're going to stick it in here. And then we're going to put that piggyback where that fuse was. And now we're going to carefully close the lid back onto that. Now what is that going to do? That's going to make the halo come on, I assume, with the key, with the ignition, with your running lights. So you won't have control over them this way, but in the future, when we do get our relay box, or if you want to put a switch in, that's how you control the halo on your headlight. All right, now we can put the grill back on. So we're going to pop this down into place and put your clips back in. What's going to control those rings? What say you? I assume you have to turn the key on to get those to come on. So here's the headlights without the key on. Oh! And here, if we turn this to run without pressing the brake, it should not start, but the halos come on. Do I look like an angel? On, off, on, off, on. Those are pretty cool. So, why did I choose the Oculus? Well, I'm pretty sure another company, maybe it was Oculus, approached me a while back for headlights for the JL, and I just didn't like them because they're too flashy. I went with these because they're like the least flashy of the new JL, JK type lights with the halos. These don't have color changing halos. They don't flash and strobe and change color and have all kinds of weird gizmos and like, I don't know, like diamonds encrusted on the inside and little ornaments in there. These are just lights, but they look good. Hopefully they'll perform good. We'll go out in just a second and see. But they weren't flashy. That's what I wanted. I didn't want something ridiculous, because let's face it, most of the people at the mall, that's what they've got. And this is not supposed to be a mall crawler. And it's just not my style to have crazy multicolor changing rainbow lights on my Jeeps. So what do you think? Let's go check them out, see how they do outside in the dark. Oh, I just blinded myself for your entertainment. All right, these have a very distinct cutoff, so you're not going to notice it until right there. So I didn't change the lights at all. That's just me bending down, and then all of a sudden you're in the light, and then when you come up, you're out of it. So there's a very distinct cutoff, and you can see that on the wall right there. Can you see that? So there's the differentiation between the driver's side and the passenger side. It has a lower cutoff on the driver's side because that's where the oncoming cars are, and you don't want to blind them. There's buzzing going on inside the car, if you're wondering what that sound is. It's my car telling me that I'm an idiot for leaving the headlights on. All right, now let's aim these puppies. So to do that, I have measured and backed the Jeep up 25 feet away from the wall over there. And by 25 feet, I mean to the front of the headlight here. So I've got a ruler, a measuring tape, and I've measured the height from the center of the glass to the floor is 42 inches. Now by the directions from Oculus, you should be 2 inches below that. And right now we're at 36.5 inches, and we should be at 40. So that means I need to raise the pattern of the light quite a bit, actually. Let's go back over here. So the good news is, since we saved so much room here by putting in a smaller light, I can actually adjust these from the screw on the back without removing them. So let's adjust this up. Oh wow. Because I've got so much junk over there, I can't really tell the difference between my driver and my passenger side lamp. So I'm going to cover up this one with a jacket. That'll let me aim my other lamp. All right, to make that easier, I made a mark over there on the wall, and I've got my jacket here on, and I'm covering up one lamp at a time. And you can see I've got both marks now at exactly 40 inches on the high side. We'll take a little test drive and see how she works. All right, this is the test with the factory headlights. Manual settings on the camera, 60th, 4.5, ISO 12800. That is the brightest my camera can go, so I can't brighten it up any more than this. With my eyes, I can see a little bit better than what the camera is seeing, but not much. It's fairly close to what my eyes are seeing right now. So this is with factory headlights. We're going to go around the block, and we'll do the same with the aftermarket Oculus headlights, and we'll see the difference. Alright guys, here's the Oculus headlamps beam pattern. This is at about 25 feet. That is standard and bright. Normal lights, bright lights. Alright, let's go for a little test drive. I'm noticing with the Oculus is they're much brighter below the cutoff line. And then there's like this blue, there's this blue tinge to the light. But above the cutoff line, there's absolutely no light whatsoever, which probably be great on a straightaway, but on a hill, you absolutely can't see anything. Whoa. You absolutely can't see anything above that cutoff line. So if you're going downhill, you can't really see where you're going. Might take some getting used to. In a minute here, I'll cut on the brights and see what happens there. That's what I'm talking about, going uphill right there. Whoa! Oh, the lights are definitely too high. After I adjusted them, that guy was bright lighting me. So that tells me that the lights are aimed too high, even though that's what the directions say to aim them at. Low beam, high beam. So let's go around the block with the high beams on. So the high beams on the Oculus are much nicer to drive with in the complete darkness going up and down hills, because there's not that direct cutoff. It kind of it displays the light up higher, but it's also kind of a more oval hazy up there instead of just a direct cutoff. So it's much like using a light bar. Alright guys, well there you have it. So I need to play around with the aiming of the lights a little more. When I had them at 2 inches below what the lenses measured, which the lenses measured 42, and when I angled them at 40, it was too high. I liked the way it drove, I liked the way it looked, but other people, you could tell it was blinding other people. I moved it back down. I need to play with that a little bit. My thoughts on the lights are beautiful lighting. The cutoff is very sharp, which can be bad if you're going downhill. You can't really see anything above you. But the lighting is really good quality. When you have the brights on, you can see perfectly. I wish I could drive around with the brights on the whole time. But the cutoff, it seems to be that I need to play with that around a little bit more. And if you're like coming uphill and there's somebody coming like this, you're gonna bright them no matter how you have them aimed. So that's the only negative on a light like this, is it's really bright below that cutoff line. So if you catch somebody below that cutoff line somehow, and this being a Jeep, it's high up off the ground anyway, I'm probably gonna find that a lot of people are thinking that I'm brighting them. So we'll see how it goes. We'll give it some tests. We'll angle the lights up or down. If you start noticing a lot of people flashing their lights at you, you probably need to bring the lights down a little bit. But with these, it's easy enough to adjust. So let me know what you think down in the comments below. Let me know if you like these lights. Once again, those were the Oculus Bi-LED headlamps. whatever the heck that means. We'll talk to you later. Make sure to subscribe and hit the thumbs up, click that little bell, and we'll see you in the next video.